And finally, n8n just released its native MCP nodes, and now you can turn Claude into your personal AI agent. Schedule a 30-minute AI consultation with Kia for Saturday at 4 p.m. and add it to my calendar. I'm just going to run it, and then it's going to ask for my permission to connect to n8n. So I'm just going to allow it. And just like that, Claude books something into my calendar. So if we open up my calendar, you can see that on Saturday, I now actually have an AI consultation with Kia scheduled at 4 p.m. So n8n released both an MCP server node and also an MCP client node. So in super simple terms, just think of the MCP client as the actual AI agent, and then think of the MCP server as the tool that it's trying to use. So the AI agent will call onto the tool, and the tool will respond back to it with the completed task. Now that's a super simplified definition, and honestly, there's a little bit more to MCP than that. If you guys want to learn more about MCP, I recently made a video where I explain it in detail. I'm going to put the link in the description down below so you guys can go and watch that. So the first thing you want to do before you start building your workflow is quickly go and update your n8n instance so it's actually up to date with the most current release from n8n. So to do that, all you have to do is come on the left hand side here, click on admin panel, and then once you're inside admin panel, click on the settings button, and then go to n8n version and just make sure you're on 1.88, the latest beta version. So now that you've updated your n8n instance, all you want to do is click on plus and search up MCP server. That should bring up the MCP server trigger node. So the MCP server trigger node is somewhat similar to an AI agent in the fact that it allows you to connect to tools. But once you actually click on it, it also looks like a webhook trigger node because it gives you a production URL so you can actually connect it to an external piece of software. So in the demo that I just showed you guys, we were able to connect Claude to a Google Calendar tool that was actually able to book something into my calendar. To set that up, all you guys have to do is click on tools and then just choose whichever tool you guys want. So in the case of what we had, it was Google Calendar. And then just like how you'd set up a normal AI agent, you would set up the tool. So you can basically just define what parameters you want the AI agent, or in this instance, Claude, to actually fill out. So the first thing I'll do is obviously I'll choose my own calendar, and then I'll set up the rest of the nodes. So in this instance, for the start time, we want Claude to decide. For the end time of the event, we also want Claude to decide. We want to add attendees. So the attendees, the first one is always going to be myself. And the second one is for Claude to decide. So then one last thing, we want to also be able to add a title for the event. So the title in this instance is called Summary in n8n. And then we'll just click on the star sign at the right, which basically just means let the AI decide what this parameter should be filled with. So then just like that, we've now set up an MCP server trigger node that's connected to a Google Calendar tool. Now, as I said, this looks really similar to an AI agent node. As you can see, they both connect to a tool and they can use that tool. But in this instance, now because we have this MCP server trigger node, instead of having a brain that we're defining here, this is connecting to an LLM externally, which is basically the brain that's able to use the tools that we've defined down here inside the n8n workflow. So I'm just going to quickly rename the actual calendar tool. Let's call this one Create Event. And now to give Claude access to this workflow, the first thing you want to do is click on Activate so you can actually activate the workflow so the webhook trigger actually works. And then you want to search up Claude Desktop and download Claude if you guys don't currently have Claude. So once you click on Download Claude, you can choose your operating system and download it. And then once you've got Claude Desktop downloaded, you want to open it. And then for Mac users, you want to click on Claude at the top left. You want to click on Settings, then Developer, and Edit Config. That should open up a folder that contains Claude Desktop config.json. You want to click on that one. And then the goal is to be able to change this with some sort of code or text editor. In this instance, I'm using Cursor, but you guys don't necessarily have to use Cursor. What you guys want to do is paste in this exact bit of code, and then you want to replace this webhook URL with your webhook URL. And to find your webhook URL, you guys have to go back to n8n, click on MCP server trigger, go to production URL, and click on copy to clipboard, and then come back here and paste it in. And then that's all you have to do. Then you want to just click on file and save the actual file into the folder. Then open up a new instance of Claude, and you should see that now we're connected to n8n as available MCP tools. So in this instance, it says the available MCP tools is create event because we've only given Claude access that one singular tool. But if you guys had multiple tools, it would have all of the tools down here. So now let's test that out. I'm going to say create a 30-minute event tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Kia and name it n8n MCP. Let's run that. So as you can see, Claude is going to think for a second, and then it's going to ask your permission to connect to n8n. So let's actually see what request it's trying to send over to n8n. So you can see that it's sending a start time, an end time, the attendees, and also the summary, which if we come back here, is exactly the fields that we said we want the AI to actually fill out. So in this instance, let's say we allow this, and then Claude's going to respond saying, I've created a 30-minute calendar event called n8n MCP for tomorrow, the 12th of April. So if we go back here, you can see that this is indeed true. We have an event called n8n MCP for tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Kia at Chemexo.ai. Now, as I said, you can treat this MCP server trigger node basically the same as you would treat an AI agent node inside n8n. So you can connect Claude to literally anything. So just click on the plus tools button and then choose whichever tool you want to connect it to, whether you want to connect it to a vector store to make it a RAG system, or you want to connect to Google Calendar or any other sort of native integration, or you can even click on HTTP request tool and you can connect Claude now to literally any API out there. But I honestly think the most amazing thing is that now you can connect Claude to any n8n workflow that you've built before. All you have to do is click on call n8n workflow tool, and then you can define which workflow you want to give Claude access to. So in this instance, for example, I have a very simple workflow, which is basically just a research agent that's capable of searching the web using Perplexity. So if we take a look at the prompt, it's basically just saying you're a research agent, you're capable of searching stuff. And then the actual tool itself that it's using is just connecting to Perplexity. So now if I want to give Claude access to this workflow so you can actually run the workflow, all I have to do is remove this chat trigger node and then click on add node and then choose the trigger that says when executed by another workflow. So what this trigger basically does is that it tells the automation that it's meant to run when another workflow actually calls onto it. So now I'll just quickly connect this to the AI agent. And then once I set it up, what should happen is now this workflow can call onto this tool, which would basically trigger this trigger node and call onto the rest of the workflow. So to set up the trigger node, what you guys have to do is you have to define an input field so the other workflow knows how it's meant to communicate with this workflow. So in this instance, we're just searching things up. So I'll just define one parameter, and that's going to be query, and query will be a string. So as you can see right now, it's null because the workflow hasn't actually been run by another workflow. And then what you guys have to do is just make sure that the AI agent is actually getting access to that query. So you want to click on define below, and then you want to put that inside the user prompt. And then just to make sure it's going to work correctly, I'm just going to fix up the actual memory as well. So instead of having it connected to a chat trigger node, I'm going to say define below, and I'm going to just say the query is the actual ID of that memory instance. So now what I have to do is save this, and then come back to this workflow and set it up on this end. So what you guys want to do first is you want to basically just name the actual sub workflow. So in this instance, it's searching things up. So let's just say research, and then let's name it research again here as well. And then we just have to give Claude a description as to what that tool is or what that workflow does, so it knows when and how it's meant to use it. So I'm just going to say call this tool to do research. And then I'm basically just going to find that workflow from a drop-down menu. So this one was called Research Agent. We'll search up Research Agent, that one there. And then it's going to say what is the actual input you want to define. So the query, in this instance, we're going to click on the stars again. And by clicking on the stars now, what's going to happen is Claude is going to fill out that query every time it decides to use that tool. So let's just come out of here and save this. And then one thing that you guys always have to do when you guys make a change inside n8n is close Claude and open it up again. And then now if you have a look at this hammer here, there's two tools instead of one. Now we have both the create event tool and also the research tool. So let's test out the research tool. Let's say who's currently winning the Premier League. So as you can see, Claude realizes that in this instance, it should use the research tool, and then it's going to ask for my permission so you can actually use the research tool. So let's have a look. As you can see, it's sending off a query, and the query is saying current Premier League standings as of April 2025. So let's allow this. And then as you guys can see, Claude responds with, as of April 2025, Liverpool is currently winning the Premier League with 73 points. And just like that, we're able to connect Claude to n8n so you can use its workflows. Now keep in mind, this was a super simplified demo, but in reality, you can make these sub workflows infinitely complex so that Claude can actually do really impressive things as an AI agent and not just as a large language model. So now let's take a look at the MCP client node. For the MCP client node, you have to use an AI agent. So I'm just going to open one of those up. As you can see, it's connected to a chat trigger node. Now, just like always, you'd give the AI agent a brain. In this case, let's say just OpenAI, GPT-4o Mini. So basically what we've done before is that instead of this brain being GPT-4o Mini, we're using actual Claude from Claude Desktop. But in this instance, we're just choosing the brain that we want inside n8n. And then to add an MCP client node to our AI agent, all we have to do is click on plus for tools and search up MCP client. So MCP client tool is the one that we're using. Now, as I said before, the MCP client tool is meant to allow you to connect to an MCP server, which would basically allow your AI agent to use that tool. So in this instance, let's go back to the MCP server that we just made and copy the actual production URL of this MCP server. And then if we come back to the MCP client, we can paste that into the SSE endpoint, and that would allow us to connect to the other workflow. So then if we go down and click on tools to include, you can basically choose which tools you want access to and which ones you don't. So let's just say selected. And as you can see now, we have access to the two tools from the previous workflow, the research one and also the create event one. So in this instance, let's say if we were to choose research, we could now get this AI agent here to use the research tool inside this MCP server trigger. And in the exact same way, you can connect any MCP server that uses an SSE endpoint directly to your AI agent via the MCP client tool. But one current limitation here is that the MCP client tool inside n8n only uses the SSE endpoints. But if you guys actually go to the GitHub repository with all the MCP servers that people have been working on, the vast majority of them don't actually use SSE protocol. What they use is what we call STDIO, or standard input output protocol, which has to be set up in a slightly different way than just using an SSE endpoint. Now in practice, that's a little bit disappointing, but n8n has said that this is only the first iteration and they're going to be changing and updating this very quickly. Now, for those of you guys who are super tech savvy, there is a workaround as well. There's a tool called supergateway. And if we come back and actually have a look at the config.json file for Claude as well, you can see that that's also what n8n and Claude are using to communicate. Now, supergateway is basically just a tool that allows you to convert between SSE and standard input output. So basically you guys would have to switch up the server. So instead of using STDIO, it would be using SSE instead. And then you'd grab that SSE endpoint, put it in here, and you'd be connected straight away. Now, if you guys want me to make a video on how you can set that up yourself, put it in the comments down below and I'll make one soon. But otherwise, that's the end of this video. It's still very early days for MCP, but this is another big step in the right direction for the future of AI agents, and I'm super excited to see it. Now, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe and let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.